As the average temperature of our planet rises, it's becoming more difficult to keep ourselves cool. The heat waves that have swept Europe the past few summers are an example of this. These rising temperatures make it necessary to invest in keeping indoor spaces cool. Currently, a 2,000 square foot home with standard ceilings uses about 3,500 watts per hour on a central AC system. Beefing up air conditioning systems to provide greater cooling power will only consume more energy and further contribute to the warming of the planet. Effort could be put into attempting to make these systems more efficient, or we could turn to passive methods incorporated into the architecture of our indoor spaces. The available methods of passive cooling span the entirety of human history. After all, people needed a way to keep cool before there was AC. In the Mariana Islands, the native people built structures supported by ladystones to allow air to circulate underneath. Ancient Persians attached wind-catching towers to their buildings that, caught wind and directed it down into the building. They also had other towers and openings that allowed warmer air to rise and exit the building, making way for cooler air. A little later, in the southern United States, but still before the advent of air conditioning, porches were seen on almost every house. The porch serves to shade the air around the house, lowering its temperature, as well as preventing direct sunlight from entering the windows during the hottest hours of the day. Houses also had tall ceilings that allowed for hot air to migrate upward above where the occupants were spending their time. Houses were still suspended slightly above the ground to allow circulation below. A newer technology that has been developed to meet the demand for less energy-intensive cooling is louvered shading devices. These are placed above windows and angled in such a way that they block direct sunlight in summer but allow it in winter. Double-glazed windows have two panes of glass with argon inserted between them to reduce heat transfer through the window but still allow light to pass through. Solar reflective coatings can also be applied to the outside of buildings to prevent the facade from absorbing heat from the sun. Green roofs are an aesthetic way to effectively insulate a roof. The plants take in the energy from the sun and use it to perform photosynthesis instead of roofing material absorbing that energy as heat and transferring it to the rest of the structure. Cross ventilation is another method used to guide cool breezes through a structure by providing a direct path with open windows for air to move through. According to a study done in Dubai, an estimate for the energy reduction provided by passive cooling methods is approximately 23%. While the ideal situation is 100% energy reduction and removal of the need for air conditioning, a reduction of any kind is helpful. The reality of the situation is that with the increase in average global temperatures, a purely passive cooling system that can keep an indoor space at a comfortable temperature may be incredibly difficult to achieve, but we should still incorporate these passive technologies where possible.